Hello, everyone, and welcome to Twillow Talk. I'm Tanis Coughlin, and from the Twillow Lifestyle Community, Twillow Lifestyle Academy, and I am joined today by my beautiful co-host, Jennifer Jurkofsky, and we have an awesome special guest today. So exciting. We've got Gerald from TarotStache.
Hello, thanks for having me. I'm
You're
excited.
mirrored. You're mirrored.
What?
TarotStache is mirrored.
I'm mirrored?
Yeah, look, it's backwards.
Is it really backwards? Is it just me? Oh my god!
Oh
I am. This is so bizarre. Okay, let me see.
no! There,
Why
try
am
that.
I mirrored? Did you do something?
Nope.
Nope. All right, hang on.
You just have to learn how to write it backwards.
Wow. Okay.
How do you do that? I don't even.
Oh, there we go. Now, if you hold it up, you're probably good. There we go.
I'm not going to write backwards because that would be and I'm still TarotStache, and these are my tiny hands.
Can they clap?
They can clap. They don't make much noise,
Okay.
but they're very good for fixing my mustache.
Oh, perfect.
Everybody needs that.
They do, indeed.
So.
So we have people on, so we're really thrilled to have some people joining us. Yes. We have Maruta.
Yeah.
Hi, Maruta. Met them this afternoon. Mm-hmm. Who else have we got here? Aspasia, hello.
That's Beth.
Hi, Beth. And we also have Michelle from Astrological Tarot. Hello. Thank you for joining us.
Mm-hmm.
And so I usually do a little intro. I'm Reiki Master, Celtic Shamanic High Priestess, Galactic Ambassador. I do stuff. And Jen, do you want to do your little intro?
Yeah, sure. Registered psychotherapist, certified Canadian counselor, intuitive life coach, do the energy stuff too. As the guide.
We just do what we're told. From them. Not necessarily everyone else. And Gerald, why don't you tell us about you?
My name is Gerald. I'm TarotStache. I'm certified. I'm certifiable, and I also. I collect tarot cards. I'm also a tarot card reader. I am a visual artist, currently working in fabric. I like to have people on my channel to talk about all things tarot. We have a good time. Being silly and laughing is a really important thing. I am retired from working in a library where I worked for 32 years, most of that in human resources and training and development. What?
A library.
Oh,
laughing in a library.
I didn't say anything. What did I say?
Did I say a bad word or something?
No, Jen is our
I'm just giving.
She's our psychological geek. So she likes the library.
Well, yes, and but libraries aren't always about being quiet.
I need to find.
You need to find that library.
I think you have one in your basement, Jen.
I think that is my office.
Yes.
Yeah. And Jennifer, Jen or Jennifer, or just don't call you late for dinner?
It's that one.
Okay. So don't call you late for dinner. I actually took postgraduate work in Gestalt studies.
Ooh.
Because the training that we were doing at the library, the management training, was to help managers truly connect with their staff and to
Oh,
help
wow.
them. And the Gestalt approach is very much about those true connections.
Yeah, it really is. That's
So,
incredible.
yeah. And I love
Wonderful.
that. And I was actually going to veer off and go into therapy, but she's giggling. I'm like going, I was going to go into therapy practice in graduate work, but my mentor passed away unexpectedly, so
Oh,
that
sorry.
sort of changed things. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
but
So we have Jane with us as well. Hello, hello.
hi, Jane.
Here's the one from her for us. Good to see you again. Hello. Thank you for joining us. And we also have this one here is Jacqueline Richards.
Hi, Jacqueline.
Hey, Jack.
Hey, Jack. She's one of our teachers as well. We were just in a meeting with her.
Oh man,
What?
it's like I'm like with all of the teachers. Am I the cool
You
kid or am I the suck up? Please
Well,
leave a
Be a
comment
little
below
bit of
so we
both.
know.
our teachers are pretty cool, so I think you're a cool kid.
Well, heck, if you two are any sign of the teachers, I mean, okay, there you go. You better show up for class, because if you don't, they will know it. They will know why. They will know that you are not showing up before you show up, and will actually send, I don't know, maybe send some help to get you there. Maybe.
Perhaps.
Possibly.
Michael?
Yeah. And of course, this is for entertainment purposes. Nothing like that would, happen.
Yeah, exactly. And we have someone else saying hello to you, Gerald.
That's Lisa.
Lisa. Hello, Lisa. Thank you for joining us. It was nice to meet you this afternoon. So for everybody that's on that doesn't know, I think most of the people on actually saw us on there, but for most of you, Gerald was kind enough to have me on his show earlier today. So we had a good time this afternoon at 2:00, and now we've got him on here.
It was more than good. It was fabulous. I've already got a comment that your tube exercise has been very helpful.
Awesome.
To someone.
That's
very good. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Thank you.
You know what I'm going to do next? Everybody should make sure they are liked and subscribed to all of the channels, because
you'll see us
that
down.
way you'll get more cool stuff.
Exactly.
There's truth in this.
There we go. We're all down at the bottom there. So please join us. And we discussed something that we have to share with you. And it's very serious and very important. Ready? 1, 2, 3. We decided that we were going to be royalty today.
There you go. Yes.
So I think we have crowns.
Yeah. I mean, crowns are good. I think people should wear crowns more often, don't you?
I do. Don't they make us? I think they make me sit up taller.
It's making me realize that I'm holding my head a little crooked.
Is it the crown that's crooked, or is it our head? Yeah, who knows?
So it's very fitting. This is my chaos.
How you doing?
Yeah, man.
Ooh, isn't that kind of like Jughead? You know how he wears that hat off to the side, and it's like it's almost like a crown.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, very real.
I mean, people are enjoying that. I also, I do have some.
This is
because I'm an overachiever. I have this one.
Ooh, very blingy.
It's very blingy, but it squeezes my head.
Oh yeah, this one isn't very sturdy.
So this is really a crown, but this is more my.
Oh! So you have
got the
I have a fascinator too. Look.
Is that one lucky?
Well, it's lucky that I didn't throw it out, so he gets a good view.
Because my husband goes to bingo all the time, and there's all these people at bingo, and they all have their
Oh, with the
lucky
trolls.
trolls, right? And they have to
Wow.
brush the hair a certain way, a certain number of times in order to be lucky.
Here's my lucky troll.
Perhaps we can see her face.
She's like, what are you doing to me, Mom?
For those of you who are watching, please type in that you were wearing your crown and describe your crown for us, because head bling is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You even want to add a little picture?
Yeah.
Because I also have this one too. If we need the full crown.
Oh.
I love it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But
I only brought one with me to my desk.
that's okay. I mean, I love it. I only brought one with me to my desk, which means she has them scattered elsewhere around the house.
I have a couple. I have a few magic wands to go with them. So I was a fairy more than a queen in theater. I was actually the fairy godmother in Shrek, in our local theater. And so I have, a fairy godmother outfit with wings and a light up wand.
Oh, nice.
Which really isn't, it's not quite like my real wands, but
Are we going?
Oh, okay, that beats mine. Mine's only a white light.
Okay, I'm not going to
Much
the fun,
there, Jeff.
fun ones.
Oh.
Where we could maybe go with the...
There you go. This is probably giving somebody a seizure. I'm preventing them from all of it.
I have a few to choose from, but these are all more ceremonial.
Those
Yeah.
are nice. Did you make those?
Most of them, yeah. Not this one, but the rest of them, yes.
Very nice. I love it. Jane the Seeker is like, overachiever, and there's like, crowns are spectacular.
Where are we here? And this one I like too.
I like that, yes.
Yes, that's true. That's true. And isn't that true? Because it's that same idea is that kind people lift people up rather than to tear them down, because as we are lifting ourselves up, as we lift somebody else up, we lift ourselves. So
that's right.
So true.
Most definitely.
Leave it to Gerald to one up everyone. Oh, we had to thank you for not having the wand so sparkly.
You're welcome, Lisa. Well, and Lisa said I only have a crown chakra. So.
Oh, yes. Oh, well, you see, we all have a crown then, don't we?
We do.
Yes.
We all have a crown.
And isn't it important to shine that crown every once in a while?
Absolutely.
So.
Yes, I agree.
Ooh,
I agree.
The stache is back. You said the
stache is back. That's Rachel Rose Farber. Thank you.
Hi.
You know, Gerald. Mm-hmm. And we also have this from Maruta.
Yeah. Made from
from Isle of Avalon.
Dang.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice. So,
well, and I just have to say, I have one more crown that, I need this one for like when I'm trying to see into the future.
Does it help?
It's a little distracting. I feel a bit like Goldblum with that many visions.
Oh my goodness. I'm going to sweep my root, not my crown.
Okay,
That's Rachel.
Yeah, they are. They're straining to see something.
But Jane says they're bloodshot.
They're
we have
really hard.
We have a few giggles going on here, so that's awesome.
I got a message from somebody that my audio may be coming in and out. Well, people let me know. So I can always leave and then you can talk about me until I get back.
True. Looks like the mind reading machine Doc made in Back to the Future.
Oh.
Yeah. Interesting. Yep.
So
yeah.
Yes, audio is shaky. Audio is shaky. So shall I leave? Give you all a chance to catch your breath and then come back in?
And this is Annie saying, now that's a funny time to join. Love it. Annie, you're going to have to rewind a little bit.
You're gonna have to
we
watch
all have crowns on.
from the
Just
beginning.
saying.
It's been crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's been crazy. Let me see if I do.
Oh.
Is that better?
Yeah. Yeah, much better.
Okay. I'll just have it in one ear. And then that way I won't be balanced. If you see me doing this, I'm not working for like the government or anything like that. And I won't be
no, you would need a black suit for that. Yeah.
Well, now that's rather limiting. I mean,
it is.
You know, have I ever worn a black suit?
Oh, good. There we go. All better now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, we could be men in black.
Yeah.
Because we play with the aliens too.
That's true. That's very true. Check. Yeah, like a well, I used to be backstage for theater, so where we would actually have the headsets and And by the way, if anybody is going into theater or you've been in theater, you already know this. Do not tick the backstage crew off because it will make your life eventful and unenjoyable.
Yes. Yes. Oh, we did get it. It's a bit shaky.
All right. Well, I'll go out and then come back in.
Okie dokie. See you soon.
Bye.
Yes. You don't want to.
Well, hopefully the sound works because
they'll spit in your food. In other words, yeah, kind of like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've done all sorts of stuff. I've done all sorts of stuff. Either on stage and off stage. So that's been something. I don't think I ever spit in anyone's food though. Like I don't think I did that kind of thing, but.
No,
I'm sure it happens.
I'm sure it does, but I could not imagine actually doing that to somebody.
No, because everyone's so full of nerves when they're in backstage.
Yeah.
Well,
and it's interesting because originally we had talked about the topic of holding space, and like that would quite fit with that, right? Is recognizing where everybody else are, knowing that we're all at such different places depending on what's going on.
It's true.
So hold space for Gerald to try his sound check again.
Exactly.
Check.
What?
There he is. Woohoo! I was just saying how I'd played all sorts of backstage things and I hadn't actually done that. Somebody else said spit in their foods, in other words, when you were talking about that.
Yeah, I've never done that, but I have actually boy, that sounds horrible. I actually have. I'm the person who will tell you when your shirt collar is not right and things like that. And I'm also the one who's running after you because you've forgotten that prop. But
I've done that.
Things that you need to do to help them out when they're stressed and.
That's right.
And
That's right.
Yeah.
And there we go, Jane. I'd never sit in the front row, sweetie, out of the spit zone. Yeah, front row. It's not the best seat in the house anyway, right? Because you don't see the whole picture. I kind of like, 6 to 12 rows back is good. Yeah, don't argue with the chef at a restaurant.
Oh, no.
Not advisable at all.
No.
Mm-mm. And techies are usually nice. It's the singers that aren't. Well, I don't know, Rachel. Seems to me you're a singer.
Is Rachel a singer?
She is.
Oh.
And so am I. So I could take that the wrong way, but I do, however, know you're kidding. So
Oh, I'm nice.
She's nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am too.
Tannis is just waiting for it to pop up. Yes, you are too. I think you're nice.
But some people.
Oh, nice. Yes. Awesome. What else have we got here? Oh, but many are bullies. Yeah, she's an opera singer. Rachel is an opera singer.
I'm with you, Shem.
Opera singer. And Shem is saying she is a bathroom singer.
I'm with Shem.
Shower singer. Here we go.
I'm a driving down the road with the windows open and the music blaring singer.
Those are the best. Those are great. I love it.
Perfect. See, we're just holding space. We're just holding space.
Well, isn't that an important thing to hold?
It is.
So,
and how do we do that for each other? I liked your comment earlier about the about how when we fix each other's crowns, that's holding space. So
it really is.
It really is. Yeah.
So
I just switched you.
Hopping all over the place.
We like to have the guest in the middle. We like you to be center stage.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So let me ask you this. I'm curious about that because holding space is something that I became aware of probably in the last 10 years or so, especially in my personal therapy, where, I didn't know what it meant, but I know when someone did it for me, where they made it okay for me to be exactly where I was. But then I didn't know, I knew something was different, but I didn't know how to explain it. How did the two of you explain that?
Well, it's interesting when we were talking about the whole fixing each other's crown thing. One of the things that came to mind for me when it comes to holding space is truly sitting with somebody, allowing their crown to be crooked, even making yours crooked, and saying, okay, now what do we want to do?
Yep.
Beautiful.
Right? And being able to allow space for the vulnerability and for the pain and for the not perfect.
Yes.
That's a big part.
Yeah.
For sure. And what comes to mind for me all the time is in holding space, it's not about saving the other person, right? It's about support. It's just about being there. A lot of times that is what we need, right?
Yes.
It's just to be there. Be there for each other. You don't have to fix anything. Sometimes you don't even have to say anything. Sometimes you just be. You just hold space, which is awesome.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I remember reading something once and it talked about the idea that when somebody allows themselves to be vulnerable with you, that's holy ground, right? That's where we are truly connected with one another. And if we can allow that person to be in their pain and not try to take that away or push them through or rush their process, but really hold that space and allow them to do that safely, there's nothing more that we could do to somebody to show them that we care.
That's so true. That's so true. And it's one of those things that holding space is just meeting somebody where they are and honoring what they're going through.
Mhm.
So
And not trying to understand where they are, because it's not really any of our business. Do you know what I mean? It's their business, because our stuff is our own business, and we're only responsible for our actions and reactions. We're not responsible for anybody else's. So we don't necessarily need to understand where they're at. We just need to meet them there and be.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, and even, I think about it in relationships and stuff, and how often, like, I can reflect on it in my own relationship, where I, recognize that my partner has his own way of kind of processing through stress. And in the beginning, it was very much a, what's wrong? Are you okay? What's going on? Right. And he's like, he just has to express it. Right.
Yeah.
And so holding space in that light is, I said to him, if you need me, call me. But otherwise, I'm going to just allow you to have that process. I'm not going to come in and check on you every time I hear you. Right. And that is a way of holding space, because I'm allowing him to have his output how he needs to, without interfering, without having him have to answer questions about it or anything else. Right.
Yeah.
And so sometimes holding space can look like that as well.
Yeah, it really depends on the person, right? And how they process through things. For
And
sure.
the day.
Yes,
The day.
exactly. Yeah. Aspasia, I'm a Virgo, double Capricorn, mother of 4. Holding space is a study for me. Working on it. Yes.
Yeah. Well, because everybody wants space held for them differently.
Exactly. Yeah. And with that many kids, each one of them is probably very different.
Mm-hmm.
So each one of them has their own needs. Like, you're meeting each one of them at a space. And, the younger ones you may have to help solve, because that's part of being a parent. But as people get older and they become more individualized, then, that's where supporting them so they find their own answers becomes holding space.
And I think it's part of that experience of growth, to friends or parent or sibling, because we grow and we change, and sometimes what used to work doesn't work for us anymore.
Yeah.
Especially as, it's been a long time since I've been a teenager. When so many things, don't laugh at me.
I'm like, shh.
Well, I'm just thinking, like, the whole process of, I still feel like I'm that 5-year-old most of the time.
Yeah.
Right? So.
Wait, you mean I'm an adult?
I know. I don't know adult anymore.
I don't want to do that.
You were talking about being a teenager or not being a teenager.
Oh, no, I just think it's really important, because and I think so many of us, when we're changing and growing and evolving, or devolving, unfortunately, in some cases, there's new stuff going on, and we don't have the words to express what's going on because it's so new.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it's when talking about, like, a piece of music or looking at a piece of art, I like that. Well, why do you like that is a stressful question. Instead, a question of, is what is it that you like about it?
Yeah.
It's a less intensive, because if you say, why do I like it? Well, then I have to think this, and then I have to figure this out, and then, oh my gosh, I don't know what that means. And, and that way, it just opens it up and allows somebody to go with it where they are.
I actually took a class this last week. I have to do continuing education for my HR stuff. And one of the classes I took was about communication. And they brought up 2 words, why being one of them. So when you ask why, oftentimes it puts people on the defensive. So that's why they have that reaction. So what you're saying is correct, right? If you say, so what emotion does that bring out in you? What do you feel with that? As opposed to, why do you feel that way? There's a big difference in the energy of the words.
Yeah.
The other one they brought up is but. And Jacqueline is great at this. She's very good at this. She'll be talking and she'll catch herself before she says it. And instead of but, it's and.
Yes.
And I have this advice. And I have this. It's awesome. So we have a few comments here. Let's see here. Oh, okay. So your kids are all grown up now. Awesome. But they're so different. Yeah. And this is Rachel. Such great advice and why I hold friendship sacred. Yes.
Yeah.
Sacred sisterhood and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Shem says she's laughing with us, not at us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you, but us.
Just me. Just me. I'm the guest. I'll take the fall. It's okay.
No fall. Nobody's fallen. Because we're holding space.
Yeah, space. And to go back to, I'm pointing. That's always a good sign. It's one of my tells when I'm feeling connected.
Awesome.
Point. It's like a whole lot of time is when we hear something that we want to know more about. We don't ask the question, or we don't let there be silence. Right. Because silence is extremely powerful.
Yeah.
And some sort of acknowledgement before we say, well, why is that? Instead, we can say, one of the things that I learned from a mentor was, tell me more about that.
Yeah.
Is that right, Jennifer?
I'm sure. Yep.
Yes.
Awesome.
I do that often. Tell me more.
Tell me more.
And by the way, I think people, we all know when you don't really care what we mean, because there's an authenticity about it. There has to be there has to be a genuine interest in wanting to understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, because somebody could ask questions and not really be listening to the answers. Right?
Yeah.
And so I think that it's not even always about the question itself. It's often about the presence, right?
Yeah.
Is that person truly present with me? And that's the space holding.
And that kind of goes to what Maruda is saying too. Some people want you to ask so they know you care.
Yeah.
So that's why it's good to know where people are at so that you can meet them there, because you do want to make sure that they know that you care. So some people leaving silence makes them really uncomfortable. They don't know what to do.
Yeah.
But it's a valuable tool in the toolbox of things when you're talking to people. So the tell me more is a great way to encourage that and still express.
Yeah, it's like, tell me more. What do you mean? Or, sometimes just looking and kind of leaning in does. I mean,
what does that mean? Tell me what that means. Sorry. When really, if I did that, my clients, they'd be running at the door going, "She's."
I think the other piece too for holding space that's really important if you want to hold space for somebody else is to be able to kind of check your own stuff.
Yep.
Yes.
Right? Because so often we're triggered by something, or something that somebody's going through brings up some of our own space, like our own stuff that we're working on. And we don't necessarily want to bring that into that space.
Right.
So being able to recognize what's going on inside of us so that we can truly be present with the other person.
And sometimes, for entertainment purposes only, whatever, saying it's just like, that's really hard to hear.
Yeah.
Because that makes me feel uncomfortable, and this is about you, and I want to support you. I mean, because a lot of times, you're so right. We have to know our own stuff. And many people who are watching this are probably empaths.
I bet.
You think? Okay. Are there
I
impacts?
can feel you all, by the way. Just saying.
Yeah.
So,
But it's really important that we just sort of like, okay, is this about me or is it about them? Because everybody wants to feel heard. No, let me rephrase that. I want to feel heard and I want to be acknowledged. You don't have to understand me, but I want to hear that you heard me, because when I feel heard, I feel valued,
yes,
and I'm going to show up and I'm going to bring more the next time.
that's right. And that's where this technique that Maruta is bringing up, mirroring, it helps people to feel heard, right? That's the active listening. Active listening is good for that.
Yeah.
We have one more to say hi to. Is this Lisa?
Very good memory.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, I kind of cheated because Maruta said hi, Lisa, right after. But thanks, Maruta. I owe you one.
Like, boy, I am going to have to up my game if I'm ever allowed back. Okay.
We'll be having you back, Joe.
Okay.
So hi, Lisa. Thank you for joining us.
This comment here that Aspasia made,
Yes.
I think is really important too, right? So what I found is when I judge someone, inevitably I would do the same thing I judged him for later the same day. That's a universal check and a chuckle. And it's really such an important piece too, because not just like the judgment in that, but what we hold space for in our lives, period. Right?
Yeah.
We allow to come in. And so exactly that, right? Judgments we have about other people, labels that we place, beliefs that, this person is that way or whatever it is, we hold space for all of those things to come back to us just by allowing them to be in our consciousness and putting it out there. Right?
Yeah.
So really recognizing what we're holding space for in the way that we think, in the way that we label, the way that we judge, the way that we process information, all of that is really important.
Yes.
Agreed.
It's a lot of hard work, but boy, it's so worth it when you have that authentic connection with someone. It's like, whoa, it's really powerful.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
Yeah. I had a download yesterday about an acronym that the guides were wanting me to play with. And so it was SHAC. And it's about sheltering friendships. And SHAC stands for sharing, helping, authentic, compassion, and kindness. Things to bring to a relationship to shelter it, like a shack. So, interesting download. I didn't anticipate I was going to use it today, but yes, there was my download for yesterday.
Yeah. I'm not going to argue with them. Go ahead, we'll watch.
I just put it through. So that's yeah. So that authenticity piece is huge when it comes to relationships, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting an again, please. Sure. So it's shack. So it's sharing, helping, authenticity, compassion, and kindness. Yeah. So interesting. It's and it's interesting that interesting. Of course, it came in yesterday when it was going to come up today, because that's how they work. So shack, shelter your relationships with shack. There you go.
Well, and wouldn't that also work for ourselves?
Yeah.
Apply all of that to ourselves.
Yeah.
Because
one of the most important relationships is with ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because how many times do we not hold space for ourselves?
Are you asking me? Because would you?
Well, it's rhetorical, but yeah.
I keep a hashtag, you know.
Do you?
No, but actually, no, no.
I love your hashtags. That was.
What?
I love your hashtags.
Oh, well, yes, because this is for inspirational and entertainment purposes only, or educational purposes only.
Perfect.
But I think it's important that when
Perfect.
I believe that's a tin roof rusted, isn't it?
We had that one too.
Rusted.
Tin roof rusted. Love shot, baby.
Okay, I have to ask, did both of you need this laughter?
We did.
Always.
We always need laughter. It's medicine.
No, it's just one of those things that sometimes it's just like, boy, that is the best medicine, just because
it is.
It's like freaking awesome.
Absolutely. I think everybody can use a dose of that. Right?
Yes.
Anytime.
Yes. I always think if I can't laugh at myself, then there's something really wrong. If I can't find something silly in what I've done, there's just it's a check, and
really, well, bringing in humor is such a great way to diffuse situations, especially when we're spiraling or we're having, we're holding space in our being for negative things. To be able to diffuse that with humor is so powerful.
Yes.
And it really helps to raise the vibration, right? So, negative vibrations lower the human vibration by 12 megahertz. A positive thought raises it by 10. I'm sure laughter's in around the 15. I am pretty sure.
What was that? Monsters Inc. Monsters Inc. They got more energy out of the laughter.
Oh yes, that's right. And music.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Lisa says music. Awesome. Definitely. Absolutely. Solfeggios. They're awesome. They're not funny, but they do raise the vibration.
I tried to do one.
I think there was.
You do solfeggios.
Isn't that the like? I can't even try to do it.
Oh yeah. Well, the solfeggio frequencies are the ones that on YouTube. They've got the 528 and the 4 something and the
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like to make those like tone deaf. I can't even make those.
Gotcha.
That's what I meant. If I tried I tried. I could do
it. Music, incense, tarot, my happy place. I'm with you, girl.
There you go.
Nice.
Laughing yoga. Yes, definitely. We have funny solfeggios. There's a concept. Yes, keep me posted on that one, Maruta. Keep me posted if you're going to do those. Awesome.
Yeah. I love that. I like that.
Which, the funny solfeggios?
Yeah, and the fact that we're going to ask her to keep us updated. Annual by the end of next month. It charts and diagrams.
I'm just empowering her to make it a thing.
Empower. Oh, here.
I'm empowering her to make it a thing.
Make it a thing.
There we go. Oh, look, she says she's on it. Nice. She's on it. Perfect. Thank you.
Oh, I'm having flashbacks for my management days.
I'm still stuck in my management head, I guess.
and I'm like going, okay. let's check in next week, find out how you're doing. What tools or resources do you need from me?
Exactly. Yep. We're here if you need resources, Maruda. Shem says being in this group.
Aw.
Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome, Shem.
Yeah. Awesome. And we have a couple of hellos going back and forth here. And
Pia's Life is here. Hi, Pia.
Pia's Life. Hello. And there's Maruda saying thank you. Hello. Awesome.
It was not a rainbow lightsaber. It was actually well, it's just a light up little wand. And I just have to say,
just a little, yeah.
It's just
a thing.
Let me tell you something. Look how big that wand is compared to my tiny hand. And if I turn it over this way, then I can lip sync with it.
Oh, a microphone and a crystal ball. I have a crystal ball.
See, now you could try to make funny.
Of course you have a crystal ball.
Oh my God.
My dog howl. It lights up.
And it's magic.
Oh my God.
It's a wand or staff. Yes.
And by the way, I know how to be very serious when I need to be.
Yeah, we don't need to be.
You're a blushing. It's this color, Jane. I can't help it.
He doesn't match his shirt just yet. You got to keep going.
You just lean into it. You put your tiny hands together and just pray that it's going to be okay. I'm going to sip right now.
Okay, sip.
I can grab mine too. Water is so good.
Here we go. Oh, a wizard staff has a knob on the end of it. Okay, we do have a family show here. Well, kind of.
Well, I'm pretty sure we check not made for children.
Oh, goodness.
It's a Terry Pratchett reference, Linda said.
Yes. Okay.
So it's going back to literature.
Very good. And hello, Linda, by the way. I don't think we said hello to you yet.
So, do you know when you need somebody to hold space for you, and how do you ask?
That's a fantastic question. And
I do. I usually say, how can I support you?
Okay.
But if you're the one who needs space being held, I think that was the...
Yeah.
That was the original, yeah.
Space, yeah. If you need, it's a great answer, and I agree with that. Mm-hmm. But do you have some way to tell that that's what you need?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but I have to put this up.
It's true, though.
It is
true.
It's literature, folks. It's all in the literature.
It's literature.
There we are. Yeah, that is something that's tough, isn't it? To ask for support. Yeah. I mean, even just asking somebody for a hug can be, challenging.
Right. But to even recognize the potential spiral that we're going down,
mm-hmm.
and that we want to stop it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I know when I talk to clients and they're like, okay, well, what's the first step? And it's always just observe. Start to pay attention.
Yeah.
Right? Because until you learn to recognize your patterns, until you learn to recognize the processes, until you can feel it, when that change happens, that shift, you're not going to catch it, right? So don't try to fix it. Don't try to change it. Don't try to do anything with it. Just try to notice it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So the first step is always awareness, right? With anything.
Well, yeah, because when we're aware of it, then we have more information. We could take in more information. And I am a firm believer that awareness at any time is important.
Yes.
It could be awareness. I mean, we want to get as close to the point, to the inflection point as we can to help make a different choice. But boy, if I remember something that happened 5 years ago that sent me off the rails, and I notice it, is so valid.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's like, okay, at any time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Exactly. So we just I don't even know what holding space means. And yes, about the hugs, I tell my friends I'm going to hug them a long time and it'll be weird. And they're okay with it. I agree. I do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotta hop off, but it's been a hilarious few minutes. Sending positive vibes, love, and healing to you all. Lots of love to you too. Thanks for joining us.
Well, and I think, for me, holding spaces is to allow someone to be where they are in a safe environment, in an environment that is safe for them. And it allows them to be in their emotions and in their situation.
Yeah.
And just have, and I can put a period at that. That's okay. It's okay. I mean, because I'm thinking of the different analogies. It's like some people need to have fresh sheets on the bed before they lay down. And maybe it's you helping them do that. Maybe it's you helping somebody put the dishes away. Maybe it's you pouring somebody a cup of water. And it's not about saying anything, really. Yeah.
Without telling them what to do. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really about being there for people in the way that they need you to be there. And that's why I asked the question that I did, right? How can I support you?
Yeah.
And that makes them think about, without having to ask me for support, it allows them to be able to express what they need at that moment.
Yep.
Without having to, come out and be the first one to say it. Because that's often when we're in a state of unbalance. We don't tend to, or some of us are not good at asking for things. So.
Well, I think there's also a component here, though, of holding space for ourselves that we don't tend to do.
Yes.
Right? We have something come in, and there's a trigger, there's an upset, there's a pain, there's a discomfort, a dis-ease in some way. And immediately the general thing is, I want to get rid of this feeling. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we don't hold space for the message that discomfort has for us. Right? And so being able to even just allow it for a time, even if we start with like 5 seconds of just going, whew, sadness. Okay, I'm going to come back to that. But acknowledging it in that moment and holding space for it, taking that breath can make a world of difference.
Yeah. Yeah. And Shem says, agree, everyone wants to get rid of it. But when we try to get rid of it, oftentimes what we're doing is just pushing it down. And that's how we end up with all of this pent up trauma that we hold in our body, because we've just pushed all this energy down. Because emotions are just energy. And so as we push all this energy down, we end up with blocked chakras and all sorts of wonderful things because we haven't actually released the energy, so the releasing part is the part that, I find
Yeah.
that we need to sort of work towards more.
Yeah.
I think what you're saying is so important in the sense of flow.
Mm-hmm.
Energy is not static, and it should never be static. It should always be flowing. And if we take an emotion and we stuff it, we're making it stagnant within us. We're holding on to it and we're not allowing it to flow. And so it doesn't matter if we're holding on to sadness because we don't want to feel it, or we're holding on to happiness because we don't want it to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, that holding on is problematic because it's going to cause problems within us, not allowing the energy to flow naturally as it's supposed to.
Mm-hmm. Much like repression turns into depression or anger. Yeah.
Yeah. And I always think, when I found out that when somebody asked, how can I help you? I don't know is an acceptable answer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And a great response to that is okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here if you need anything.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then sit and just be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And also, and I would say on the receiving end of that is for somebody to be honest enough to say they don't know. That's the type of that's authenticity in action.
It is.
And I just want to go, thank you for trusting me enough to say you don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Full stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we have Linda says, oh, good, because in those situations, I really don't know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that happens to all of us, depending on the
It
situation.
does.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah. And so pushing to say, like, okay, well, let's figure it out or whatever. Like sometimes we need that process. I know, depending on, again, we talk about like human design and authority and stuff like that. Sometimes we have to take a step back and we're not going to know in the moment. And we have to allow those emotions to flow through and all before we're going to even know what's actually going on. All I know right now is I don't feel okay.
Yeah.
But I can't tell you why. I don't know what's actually coming up or what's being triggered. I just want to cry. Right? It's like, okay, just cry.
Cry then.
Yeah.
Allow yourself to let it flow. Because
Mm-hmm.
crying is one of the best ways to release energy, right? Any of those bodily functions, crying, burping, the other end, they're all great ways, yawning. They're all ways that we release energy.
It's very true. It's very
Right.
true. And I think it's hard for many of us because we're problem solvers.
Yeah.
We want to help people feel better. So it's like, but excuse me. And we have to remember people are not problems to be solved.
Right.
Right.
They're not broken.
Mm-hmm.
And so when it's really hard to slow down enough to go, wait.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody doesn't truly know and they don't know, and we've sat for a little bit, and I'll say something like, I'm getting a glass of water. You want one?
Mm-hmm.
And then, it's me. So I'm going to be a smart aleck. And I'm going to say, well, good. Go up and get one for yourself and I'll get my own, just so I could.
And we diffuse with anger or with laughter. I mean,
with humor.
Yes.
Yeah. But genuinely, it's that sometimes that allowing to sit and to sit in it, which is, I think, what you're talking about, Jen, allowing somebody to be where they are.
Yeah.
And then seeing if the energy needs to shift a little bit. And sometimes it's physical movement.
Yeah.
A belch, a fart, a sneeze, a yawn.
Yeah. Or tears.
Or tears.
I'm a crier.
Or breathing.
Breathing.
Oh, yeah.
We could do that. Yeah.
Right? I mean, just a sip of water, a deep breath. It's amazing how powerful those things are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mhm.
Right. But I love the whole idea of not being broken. And I talk to clients about that often, right? Is we come in, especially with therapy, right? We come in and it's like, oh, fix me. And it's like, well, one, you're going to fix yourself. And two, you're going to do that by realizing there's nothing to fix.
Yeah.
Right. And ultimately, that's really what it's all about, is being able to allow yourself to be authentically you without having to fix it, without having to change it.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yes. Breathing's a thing. We kind of need it, Jane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, from a very physiological like thing, when we talk about like autonomic nervous system and all that, I'm going to geek out for a minute, right? Like the whole the whole
Yeah.
idea is that when we go into like that fight or flight or freeze fawn response, right? Parasympathetic dorsal, what we're doing is we're going into survival mode. Right. And so when we get stressed, when we get upset, it's not the anger, it's not the stress, it's not the upset or sadness, it's the resistance that we have in that moment to those feelings that causes an anxious cycle to happen within us. And it's that need to get away from it.
Right.
That causes us to shut down. Right. And so something as simple as taking a deep breath, having a sip of water, these are all things that actually tell the physical body I'm safe and allows it to begin to come back to a ventral vagal state, to be able to open back to social engagement and all of that. We can't take deep breaths if we're running for our lives, right?
Yes.
One of the first
Right.
things to shut down is the digestive system. When we go into these responses, having water, swishing it around in your mouth, promotes saliva production. Saliva production means we're safe. Digestive system's coming back on track, right? So as much as people go, oh, have a deep breath or take a sip of water, and we think, oh, it's just this like simple little silly thing, and they're being dismissive. Like there's a lot of power in that, in the signals that it actually gives your body
Mm-hmm.
and being able to come back and work through whatever it is that's triggering us.
Well said.
Yeah. And he says we transform all the time. Sometimes it's easy, other times much more challenging. Give yourself time to pause in the feelings.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And then we had Maruda saying, it's just your journey. And isn't that right? We tend to judge ourselves when we're in that state too. After we're like, I couldn't control my emotions. And you get upset with yourself for not doing that. And, we are emotional beings. We are human beings. We are made to feel emotions. That's part of what we're here for. We're meant to feel the whole gamut of emotions.
Yes.
And that's part of our learning here. So, communicating with the subtle body is better than waiting until it screams at us. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's that being aware, though. We're not always aware, It depends on where we're at in our own awareness, our own getting to know ourselves.
Very true.
Right?
Well, we talk about dis-ease, right? And the body moves into shutting down. I mean, the body says no, and the body keeps score, right? Like the body holds so much, and we don't necessarily realize it until we're suffering.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But being able to truly check in can allow space for clearing that energy before it gets to that point, or even once it has.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Brian, Blushing Nerd Tarot.
And Brian had a little thing here for us. That's one of the reasons tea or hot beverage.
Names.
I know, aren't they awesome? It's customary to offer someone in crisis. Beautiful.
Yeah. Well, and isn't that's a nurturing stance too.
Yeah.
It's like I'm reminding you that you are in a safe space.
That's right.
So, but
we're taught to be a certain way. Now we're seeing we can be all the F of a cluster F. And that's normal. Yes. Because absolutely every one of us has times like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and the biggest thing when we talk about this idea of normal and, again, holding space for somebody to authentically be where they at is not having to conform to a societal idea of what is normal and what is okay and what maybe you grew up with your parents telling you had to be, or how you had to be for friends, or whatever else it is, right? But being able to just say, I'm not okay right now, and I'm going to sit with that, and I'm going to get through it.
Yeah.
Right? And as much as I feel like I'm not okay, I actually am okay. Right? And I'm going to soapbox tangent for a second, if that's okay.
Oh, wait. Here you go. Here's your soapbox.
Okay.
He's got a soapbox.
Okay. So you know how there is this saying that goes around, it's okay to not be okay?
Yeah.
Right? I think that there's a lot of misleading information in that. It is okay to be struggling in this moment. Struggling does not mean that you're not okay.
Right.
And you can be struggling and still be okay.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I think that this idea of it's okay to not be okay puts that but back in there. And we don't want that but back in there.
Right.
Right? And so I can be struggling right now and I can still be okay.
Yes.
And I think, we've talked about this before on the show, that oftentimes we are more than one emotion all at the same time too.
Yeah.
We're human. We're complex. We're complicated. As many times I want to be simple, I'm not.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's beauty in that. And Tanis, that is so true. When I realized that I could be angry, upset, frustrated, and disappointed all at the same time, it was like my mind was blown. You mean there's nothing wrong with me?
Yeah.
I thought, oh, that's my ADHD. It's like, no, that's being human. That's being sensitive. That's part of who you are. And that's what makes you you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You could even add into that list grateful and feeling loved. That could all be all in the same moment.
Yep.
So it's not all like one end of the spectrum or the other. Yeah.
Right.
So
Those
it's
two
pretty
things
cool.
Can be together.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's so powerful for when it's so powerful for when we stop trying to make things more complicated than they are and just accept things as they are.
Yeah.
I don't have to understand everything. I don't have to see everything because I can't. First of all, I can't. I mean, sometimes my vision, my spiritual vision or whatever, isn't as broad as it could be, and I miss things. But it's one of those things that, I remember, okay, I'm going to get on my soapbox now. And I'm like, one of the best things my therapist ever said to me was, helping me understand, you're not broken, you're fine. And I was trying to work on, I kept saying, I want to be better. I want to do better. And she said, in a very lovingly way, she said, don't do that. Just try to do it differently. Because different just means you're breaking that cycle. You're going, nope, I'm not doing that. And isn't there science about that with neural pathways when you're trying to create new habits? That these things have to, whatever, shock and, in a new path for it to work. That takes a lot of time because guess what? It took us a lot of time to get in this manner.
Yeah. Yeah. Indeed.
I mean, and science is real, so we know that those neural pathways and that energy is there.
Yes.
So, oh yes, Beth, Buddha, pain is
I love
inevitable,
it.
but suffering is optional.
Yes. That's a great one.
that.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. I got off my
Absolutely.
soapbox now. You didn't expect me to have a soapbox, did you?
I
did
didn't.
not.
I think it's
I love it.
awesome. So we had a not so serious question back here that I want to scroll back to. And I think that it's a great one to sort of wrap up our time because we're at an hour and 10 minutes already.
Holy
So-
mackerel.
But I think we need to answer this question first just because I think it's a good one. I believe she's referring about wands and crystal balls and crowns, etc.
I do have a funny story about this.
Oh, please share. Please share.
I got this at a Cracker Barrel
Oh, awesome.
Oh, cool.
traveling. And, you know, for those of you, Cracker Barrel had some practices that were not inclusive
Yes.
for a while. And so I was traveling and going to actually a spiritual thing over the weekend. We stopped there to go to the bathroom. I saw this and I was like going, I need this. And so I actually went up to the counter and I asked the person, do you have scissors so I can take this out? And she didn't have any scissors. She spent 5 minutes looking for a pair of scissors so we could open the box. So here I am in, I think it was at rural Pennsylvania, outside at a Cracker Barrel with this light on, dancing around because it made it ridiculously happy.
That is awesome.
Okay,
So
where's the video?
Yeah, no videos.
If there's no video, it didn't happen.
Yes. But you know, it is one of those things that you just have to pay attention to where you can find it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it just comes up. If you put it out there that you want something specific, it shows up. Right?
Oh, yeah.
When I first started building my toolkit, so like my ritual tools and all of that stuff, I like put it out there that if it's meant for me, that I'll know. And for a while, it was like every time I would go somewhere, if something was $20, it happened to be the thing that I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else would be like more money. So even like my athami, your ceremonial knife is for those of you that don't know, I have a beautiful one that's very Celtic, and I got it for $20.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's amazing. If you put it out there, it will come. Call it in.
Yep.
Call them in.
Just put it out there and then let it go. Let the universe do its work. Because I think that's one of the things that is important to remember is that would have gone viral. But no, just put it out there. It's just, I'd love to find this. That would be great.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll add or something better, and then I'll forget about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or something better is an awesome thing to put on the end.
Yeah.
For sure. So we have someone's putting out there loud, right? Lisa. She's putting it out there loud.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We have a few comments here.
No, you can't touch your toes yet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. And I think that that idea is there's better is a value judgment, different is an adjective, and
yes. Where was that? We missed that.
Yeah, it's neither good nor bad. It just is.
That's right. Yeah, the judgment is the value we put on it, so we can change that.
Yeah. I always go back to Shakespeare. Nothing is good or bad, but thinking makes it so.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's a good one.
And we're back to literature.
Literature.
And we're back. True.
Wow.
Thank you. My amethyst in the back. Yeah. Awesome. Well, it has been such an amazing journey with you guys today. We've laughed.
Mhm.
We've had crying happening. We we laughed. We cried. We reminisced.
Mhm.
It's been a beautiful day. So, Twillow Talk Live. That would be us. Please like and subscribe. It is free for all of them. Right? We all have our channels. You see them all down here, right? I can't
I love
go
it.
over there, but yeah. For entertainment purposes only. Yes.
And then here's the flip
One-
side. For entertainment purposes only, do not make decisions based upon based on what we say. Seek professional assistance. Really.
Yeah.
Really.
Really.
So, Gerald,
Yes.
please tell everybody what kind of things you're up to right now and where they can find you.
You can find me tomorrow on Jane the Seeker Tarot at 9:15 Eastern for Tuesdays with TarotStache, exclusively on Jane the Seeker Tarot. And then I have on my channel back and forth with Jamie and Gerald. Ooh, who's leaving?
Oh, I'm responding to this one.
Okay.
Wonderful conversation. Thank you all. Blessings and kindness
welcome.
to all. Shine your light.
You're welcome.
You as well. You as well.
And Medium Betsy Palmer is asking her questions. And by the way, this one gets a little rowdy because
Perfect.
Okay.
people can ask
Tune in. Tune in.
Yeah, people can ask us any question, and we have the right to refuse to answer any of them, but we usually don't.
There you go.
I'm also hosting on Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern a Laugh and Learn, which is something that I do. It's a Laugh and Learn where we explore a subject that we want to learn about. It's also a magic tool talk, and we're talking about spirit boards.
Ooh.
And that's with Ben from Beneficial Tarot and Chris Yao of Barely Balanced Tarot.
Awesome.
I mean, it's just easier to subscribe because, I'm always posting stuff.
Yeah, subscribe. Thank you, fabulous show from Michelle Marie. Jane says this has been awesome. Thank you. Thank you for joining us, you guys. Uh-oh. I think this might have been about your show.
Absolutely.
And it might be one of these.
Yes. Well, it's here. So, and no, there will be no necromancy. Conversation. Well, not during
Michelle
a live.
was saying
We're not going to do it during a live. Jeez.
Yes, so he's actually on with us. So Gerald's actually on with us on May 3rd on our Wednesday show too. So we're looking forward to that. That's our 7 p.m. Eastern and 4 p.m. Pacific. Awesome. Excellent.
Very cool.
Great.
So check out Gerald.
One thing we didn't do, Tanis, is, and I know there was a question way early on, is kind of what's going on right now.
Oh, yeah, we didn't do our usual, did we?
No, we didn't. And it's I think it's an important one because we actually made a shift today.
Oh, good. Okay, sure.
Let's in the transits.
Let's look at that.
So just before we shut it off, I just want to make sure that we actually get that out because I know it was asked and I don't want to forget about it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're going into gate 3. The sun is going into gate 3, which is the gate of ordering. And so here again, we're looking at chaos, moving into innovation, into innocence.
Ooh.
Right? And so really what we want to do is this might be a time where we're having, difficulty completing things. Maybe we have a whole bunch of things on the go, but we're having a lot of trouble kind of getting through them. And what's really beautiful is so the gate 3 is in the sacral. It's all about that kind of movement and energy and all of that. But it goes into the 60 root, which is about acceptance. And so one of the things as we move forward is recognizing that maybe the way that we've been doing things is not going to continue to serve us. And maybe we have to look at something a little bit differently, right? Again, not better, different, right? How can we be innovative, right? Because that really is the gift in this gate right now is how do I take these leaps of faith? How do I create new ways to navigate and organize these aspects in my life in order to really open up to the wisdom that's out there and not having to be kind of caught in those patterns. So if you realize, okay, I'm moving through and I just feel like everything's kind of chaotic, know that it's what's in the transits right now, and maybe take that step back, take that deep breath, allow space for something else to come, that innovation, that openness to something new and different, and take a step and try it and see where that takes you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, transformation and change.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
All
that's definitely
happen-
good. Sorry, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
They all happen when we have when we're holding space.
They do.
Yeah.
And
we hold space for the experience to be what it is.
Yep.
And for something different to reveal itself.
Yeah.
So hold space for each other, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, and we've had, in terms of space news, we've had some solar storms. In the last week, we had a couple of M-class storms, which are a little higher than our usual. So if you felt some disturbances in the force, this would be why.
There were.
There were. There were. It's all happening for us, not to us. So stay tuned as, Mother Nature and all.
Yeah.
Helps us ascend.
Mm-hmm.
Final words, Gerald? You seem like you're getting some messaging. Would you like to share? Nothing like putting you on the spot, but...
Wow. Okay, hang on. Translating.
Yep.
I'm on a deadline, people. Okay. Because of all of the changes, the energetic shifts that people are going through, personally, on this level, and then how those are impacting the others, it's the ripple effect. And I heard this, and I don't know who this is, and so I'm just going to say, calm the F down.
So you know who you are.
Yes, but no, it's this. Oh, and now they're laughing at me because they're like going, "We didn't think you were actually going to say that." Thanks, Gerald. No, but there's this. Well, hi, have we met? No, obviously. No, but there's this adjustment period that has to happen. It's like when okay, I'll use this analogy they told me I could say. You know how when you're laying down and you're sleeping, and then the alarm goes off and you suddenly get up, and if you pause for a second while you're sitting up, it allows the equilibrium to happen. It allows your, science is real. It allows your blood pressure to level off so that when you step up, you don't actually fall over.
Yeah.
It's like, just sit up. And then you'll know what to do next.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Tap into your intuition, guys. We all have it.
They're okay with me. They're not mad at me. So that's okay. I'm just like going.
I get a lot of eye rolls. It's a.
And could these be? Could these be some galactic ambassadors?
Yeah.
Okay, you knew that, right?
I think you're talking to my guides, yeah.
Okay.
Because they have a great sense of humor, so I figured it was the Pleiadians.
I was just like, I'm like, well, hi. Okay.
Yeah. Is it Oni and Meek? Those are my Pleiadian guides.
It's only one of them, and they're giving a tour to 2 or 3 other people, two or three other guides. It's
Oh.
like they're showing them around the office.
Oh, awesome. So we're getting new guides.
Was what I was told.
Oh, we're not supposed to know about the new guides yet?
You didn't see anything. These are not the new guides you're looking for. Here, I'll even do that with my tiny hand. These are not the new guides. Oh, wait a minute. These are even better. Here. These are not the new guides you're looking for.
Perfect.
Oh my gosh.
Here, this one's for you.
We may have to have a discussion. But somebody's finding this really funny, and the 2 new ones are like going, "Is this what we signed up for? What is going on?" And they're like taking bets. I'm like, I don't want this one.
Oh, is one of them my Arcturian? Rigus? Because he's very serious, that's why I wonder.
Does he take notes?
Oh, not usually, no. So this is a new one.
I think that's Albion, Master Albion.
Okay. He's yours then.
Oh, he's yours. You notice how she's just sitting here laughing?
I'm kind of like, oh. And he's like, fun, not serious all the time. High priests, man. What are you going to do?
I just deliver the message, so.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for sharing. Yes, they are galactic.
Everybody just sit up straight and then take a couple of breaths before you try to move.
Yes, exactly. Because we are in a shift.
Yes.
All will be well. All will be well.
And all will be well, and all will be well.
All is well.
All is well. Very good. So we just want to thank you all for joining us. It was beautiful having you here with all the wonderful comments. Thank you, Gerald. We're so honored to have you on the show.
Thank
Please
you.
come back again soon. And
I would love to.
We'll have great laughs. And thank you, Jen, as always. And please check out all of our links on the bottom. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And we shall be... It's free. It's free. Thank you all, and we will see you next week. Lots of love, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.